Okay, I know that the title is a little bit outrageous, because when we look at One Piece as a story, there is a lot going on. There are so many great arcs within One Piece that it feels stupid to say that just one is objectively the best. And don't get me wrong, you are allowed to think otherwise. If you just absolutely love Foxy, just can't get enough of Afro Luffy, I am not going to call you a moron for 5 minutes. Moving on to the topic of this video, Egghead is a crazy good arc. It has become one of my favourites very fast with the amount of hype surrounding all these new and old characters, what it sets up for the future, and Oda's amazing storytelling being showcased time and time again. This video, however, is specifically about the One Piece anime. Now, I think everybody who has even heard of One Piece can agree that One Piece's pacing sucks major fucking ass. Toei is very, very adamant on the one chapter per episode schedule, and this isn't going to change, don't get me wrong. They will do anything but actually show One Piece. They added a 10-second freeze frame at the start of the episode and in the middle.
Hello?
Another thing that most One Piece fans agree on is the increase in quality since Wano, especially everything in 2023. We had some jaw-dropping shit. I think if you show this to a Victorian child, they would just start convulsing. But when we look at these factors through the perspective of Egghead, we actually have a fucking masterpiece in the making. Toei have already shown their willingness to animate Egghead beautifully with this amazing intro. I personally think this is top 3 in all the intros, and I would not argue with you if you said it was the best. By the way, I am writing this video before the Luffy vs Lucci fight, but if Toei are hyping it up in the same way they did Gear 5 and Kaido, I'm pretty convinced they're going to give us some pretty fucking good Sakuga. Nobody could have ever seen this coming. Thank you so much, Toei. This is incredible. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw. And regarding pacing, I don't think Egghead is going to be nearly as bad as some people realise. We have sat through Wano for 4 years now. 195 episodes. You could fit 3 full Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhoods in there and fill the remainder with half of Fooly Cooly. It is a long-ass arc, and it does drag on several occasions. Remember this sumo fight? You know, one and done, Luffy fucks him up and we move on. Nope, let's have a clash for 5 minutes. Egghead on the other hand, Wano makes Egghead look like Jujutsu Kaisen. Every chapter there is some major reveal or plot development. Oda genuinely had like a 10-chapter run of just awesome shit happening. We are not even on Egghead for a whole lot of Egghead. We're going over the crazy developments regarding Law, Kid, Garp, Sabo, and Kuma. Oda is consistently introducing new ideas, plot lines, and building on pre-existing concepts to the point where crazy shit is happening damn near every chapter. I don't think Toei's slow pacing is going to affect Egghead nearly as much as usual. So when you take these aspects of the Egghead arc in the One Piece anime, it is a match made in heaven. This is going to be some of the highest quality One Piece we have ever seen. It is the finale of Wano, without having to sit through Wano. I don't even think saying Egghead has too much stuff is valid, because Toei is still going to make sure that it's slow enough for a One Piece fan to understand. Some aspects of these two arcs are obviously the same. They both have pretty typical starts to a One Piece arc, and there really isn't that much special in that regard. They both take some time to get going, but Egghead ultimately does even this quicker. The CP0 invasion is only 10 chapters in, and even then there's the argument that Blackbeard vs Law was the real kickoff. And Blackbeard vs Law was cool as hell. Every time I see the trimmer through, I'm reminded just how cool it is. Okay, let's break out the big guns. What makes a good One Piece arc? There are so many things that this show does right, and I think that Egghead checks every box. Well, most of them anyway. I'm thinking something like this. To be honest, these are relevant for writing any arc ever. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead. They're only minor spoilers, but I'm nice enough to tell you anyway if you're an anime only. In terms of Egghead's story, I think it is very fitting as the first arc of the final saga. It is a grand arc. There are a lot of stakes that are built up very quickly on one tiny island. Shit goes from 0 to 100 so quick. The moment the narrator said that there was an Egghead incident, I knew shit was going to go down. You cannot tell me that Egghead has a bad story, because even if you don't like the main one, you have like 6 others to choose from. I have no fucking idea what this guy was on about. Character writing. I think that many One Piece arcs have somebody that kind of steals the show. There's always that one character that ends up being the highlight of that arc. Usopp in Water 7, Robin in Enya's Lobby, and in Dressrosa, you obviously have Lao G. In Egghead, I gotta give it to Kuma. Man, the shit that he went through is some of the worst in the entire show. His story is not only heartbreaking, but his links to Joy Boy as a Buccaneer only reinforce the themes that the final saga has of Luffy being the symbol of freedom. But he is also cool as hell, one of the best characters of the series. World building. This arc has so much going on. It nearly perfectly continues everybody's stories without feeling too convoluted. Blackbeard's fight with Law, Sabo and the nature of the Gorosei, Kuma's backstory, Kid's fight, and Garp at Hachinosu. To be honest, none of these are sleepers, and I can only imagine how Toei is going to improve on some of these moments. I hope that there's some demonic music at the Gorosei reveal, and I want to see Kid get violated in 4K HD. Action. Get real, man. I mean, look at the animation on Luffy slapping his ass. Checkmate, Naruto fans. In terms of themes, Egghead is a pretty direct parallel to Shibondi. You have the same major villains, that same incident-like storytelling. They are at similar points of the story, Shibondi being a test at the start of the New World for the Straw Hats to prove their strength, which they ultimately fail. Egghead, on the other hand, is at the beginning of the final saga. Egghead is the Straw Hats proving their strength to the world government, now that they have become a Yonko crew. Like, literally, they are up against the Gorosei. Resolution. Egghead has not ended yet. Who knows, maybe Luffy goes gear evil and kills all the crew and Lucci becomes the Pirate King. I don't know, it hasn't happened yet. Oda could fumble a shit out of the Egghead ending. I don't think he will, because to be honest, at this point I am convinced that Oda has the rest of the story planned out at this point. So, to be honest, it's way more likely that Toei runs out of budget, and that's how Egghead could be ass.